So, we're good to go on my end.
Episode 9, right?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have 8 still here, but let's do 9. Updated.
Oh man, you can tell it's been a little while since I was on this game.
Did it say welcome back?
It did not. But everyone is suddenly 200 elo higher than me.
Oh, I've been sitting at 1800. I have not played much ranked.
I'm at 1680.
I went up to 1820, came back down under 17. I went 1780 something, climbed back up, and then I said, that's it. I'm done. I said, that's enough.
Yeah, I am not that is incorrect OBS.
Oh no, what's so incorrect?
Oh, I was just saying that I was streaming the wrong thing.
So side topic before we get started on Pokemon Unite.
Yeah.
Remember how I suggested that I had bought that gentleman's collection? And
yeah.
I almost made my money back in one card.
What?
And I say almost because and I'll show it to chat on my end here. I have a Mega Charizard. It's a little difficult to see this. Okay. So the value of this Mega Charizard EX from Generations is $85, and I only spent $70 on the whole collection.
Oh my god.
But again, I'll show my chat, and then I'll send you pictures of up close details of why I say almost. It was
Just quickly, whilst we're on the topic, a buddy of mine. So he's been dating this his new girlfriend for maybe it's just under a year now. And anyway, they've been chatting and stuff. Hey Robinson, so just before I get into this, Robinson, you probably haven't seen this, but me and Snide started a Pokemon Unite podcast. And we haven't started yet, but we will start soon. And generally when we are talking, we don't interact as much with chat. Just to let you know, I'm not ignoring. We're just chatting on topics. But yeah, so anyway, my story. My buddy has been dating this girl for a little while, and they must have got talking about it. He didn't tell me how they got onto the topic, but he just sent me this picture out of the blue, and I'm just making sure I'm not sharing any personal details.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know if you can see that on my phone screen there.
Hold on, you're gonna
wait
have to
and
give me.
see.
I gotta
Yeah, I'll
put you up here. Give me a sec.
Anybody else on chat as well? Oh,
Yeah, hold on, my internet's slow and loading, so you're gonna have to bear with me there.
yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit closer. But like, all these old cards, like base set cards,
Oh yeah. Let me open up you on my.
are just so
phone.
cool.
Oh, there you
I'll
go.
send you the picture on Discord, but
Oh, I see him. I see him. Oh, I'm so jealous.
yeah. So I was gonna Robinson, you are free to jump into some games as well, by the way. We won't be in voice chat in the strict sense until after the podcast. But yeah, it was just, I was like, how much would she sell them for? And I don't think she'd be interested in selling.
I was gonna say, listen here. Excuse me, ma'am, miss. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I'd be very interested.
Yeah. No worries, Robinson. But yeah, it was pretty good, and I think they're looking at high prices, so like it wouldn't be if she was gonna sell, I think she was looking to.
Well, if it's a complete first set, right? I mean,
I don't think it's a complete first set by any means.
Well, do you have
But
the
there's
big
just
three?
a lot of interesting cards.
If
She
you
has
ha-
3 binders full.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you have the big 3, which are obviously Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, right there alone is going to probably run you about 6,000-7,000.
Yeah.
Depending
So
on their condition.
I mean, I don't think that they've been graded by any means. But on the screen there, you've got Dragonite, you've got Moltres, Articuno, Computer Search, Rhydon, Dark Kadabra, Kadabra, and Shelter. And that's just one page
Yeah, that's fossil right there.
in a full binder. So, yeah.
I don't know if you can see the my screen.
It's just you sitting contemplatively at the moment.
Yes, so there you go. Right now, that's the prize card that I have. That would be a first edition, mint condition Togetic. Just the value of this one is about $100. That one's gonna get sent off to get
That's
graded.
pretty.
And then this one is just because I absolutely love how it looks. And then I cannot find the value of this one, but I'm gonna send that one off for grading as well. But I mean, if you want to,
looks sick.
you want to talk about some cards. I recently
Maybe we do this another maybe we do this at like a, because I don't like, I've got some cards. I've got Yu-Gi-Oh cards over there that I've not seen in a long time. And I've got some old Pokemon cards that are in pretty shitty condition, but like, yeah, maybe I'll bring them up maybe another time.
do we do a collaborative Pokemon opening card show? I have tons of Pokemon cards sitting around that I want to open up, but I just haven't found the right time for it.
I mean, I can just sit here and go and build suspense.
I mean, we can do that all day, every day. I
can be the hype guy.
Oh, we can do it.
We're like, oh. The most polite hype guy ever, because I'm British.
Because that's how it always is.
Well, yeah. Let's not get how the British are on an international sense.
We're okay, and let's start our first podcast in about a month and a half.
We don't have the best reputation, but we'll start the podcast.
Let's go. Take it away.
Let's get my notes up. Do you want to start the match?
Yeah, we could just start. Oh.
Okay.
I guess.
And let's go. So, welcome back, folks, to the OnlyCrams Podcast, episode 9. We are back after a little break, after some IRL stuff got in the way. I'm your host, X_Goose, and with me I have Tsnydes.
What's good?
How are you, buddy? How's it going?
Oh, it's been pretty good. Been doing some projects around the house. Been keeping busy. The games for me have not been so nice, to put it very politely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of been the same for me. It's the time of year where everything's getting, it needs to be done. There's things need to be done in the garden. Because I'm not entirely sure what area you are in the States, but like I know some areas don't really have seasons in the same sense that the UK has seasons. But like it's spring is kind of in full flow now, and we're getting busy with things, and yeah, so greenhouses need to be fixed and cleared out and all sorts. So it's been busy. It's been real busy, and I have admittedly not played a lot of Unite. I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. That has really captured my attention in the short times that I've been able to get online and play some games. But we're back now.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to hit that 1800. We've got 3 days left of the season, so we'll see how it goes. I'm 1680 now. Everybody's just disappeared. You, Tilsy, Geo, you're all in the 1800s now. So you've all left me behind.
Well, so just to kind of give you a little bit of rundown of what has happened recently, for me, I have kind of hit like this little pocket of I'm not playing well with any Pokemon. So I decided to pick up something entirely different since we had last streamed. And I've been picking up Greet It and been playing very, very well with him. I had a 65% win rate with him. Now I think I'm down to 60 after a bunch of pretty bad losses, but this is probably the most fun that I have had playing the game since it came out. I just really enjoy this squirrely little thing here. It's just too much fun to annoy people.
You know what the sad thing is, though? It makes me so upset because I hate Greedent with a passion. And to see you playing not only well with it, but just enjoying it so much, it just makes me upset. In a sense. Because also, like, it's nice to have you playing the game and enjoying yourself. So that's the main thing. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my god, I've got to deal with this stupid rat on my team all the time now. And here we are. Oh my god, this Lucario's taking everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a little while, right? It's lots has changed since we last spoke.
A ton has changed. A ton.
And where do we start? Because I think the last time we did a little pod, we had this guy,
Duraludon.
We had the main man in the driving seat, and Duraludon was an absolute monster. We couldn't really do anything against Duraludon.
Yeah.
And that's maybe's not so much. Why do we have 4 up top? What's going on here?
I have no idea.
That's maybe's not the case so much anymore. Duraludon kind of got a little nerf, which was desperately needed.
Yeah, Dragon Pulse is still
no longer
overpowered.
Yeah. I think I can agree with that. But it's just an example of the ever-evolving meta of this game, right? Like, it's interesting how it didn't change. Interesting how it did change, sorry. And once again, we saw it was kind of followed a similar trajectory to Dragonite, right? Like, it came in, it absolutely swept the meta. Everybody, you couldn't get a game without it there. It was the main mon, and then it just disappeared. And it's like, oh, okay. And now you see it maybe every other game. So that was quite interesting. And then we've also had we had a new mon come out since then. In Azumarill. And Azumarill's kind of not had any impact really.
No.
I would say.
The impact that we were hoping for, he has not had, and it's kind of disappointing because you were hoping with his crits and changes and everything, you were hoping for something a little bit that would kind of shake the whole meta up, and this does not do any of that.
Yeah, so we'll set the scene a little bit, because when we first started to get the leaks of Azumarill, again, Chico Eevee doing the Lord's work there. We saw, or what we originally saw was a mon that was going to have critical hits every time. Every move is going to be a critical hit when you were in solo battle. So, like, if it was just you and another mon, every move is going to be a crit.
Right.
And then, so immediately that set buzzers going like, okay, this is going to be a counter to Lucario, because Lucario, no matter how many nerfs Lucario gets, Lucario has continued to dominate the top meta. And it was kind of like, right, okay, that's what this is, right? Like, it's got to be a counter to Lucario. And then it just didn't.
No. So
to summarize, it just didn't.
The huge power, its ability was supposed to be this all glorious type thing. It was so close. It's still really close to being what we hoped for it to be, right? The problem that I'm foreseeing is that it just doesn't do what we need it to, right? Like, oh, we lost that. I can't believe. It's still extremely squishy. That's the problem. We can try everything in our power to do everything we want, but when it can't take a hit, it doesn't matter how much damage you can put out. And I just think with a little bit of tweaks, it'll actually be very, very, very viable, because I know that I've had some extremely dominating games with it, and I've also had some really bad games with it.
Yeah, it's kind of classic. Either the mons come out completely overpowered, or they come out and it's like, oh, this is it. Yeah, and it's definitely a oh, is this it kind of mon?
Yes. 100%.
So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I imagine it'll probably get some kind of nerf in the next patch, or some kind of buff, sorry, in the next patch, because it's not really in any form of viable position right now. From a competitive sense, I would say. Like it's just like nobody's gonna pick this in like a
Everybody's
team
down
game.
here, by the way. I am done.
We've not been having a good run here
No.
in this game. You can tell it's my first game back for a little while. But yeah, it needs to change, and I imagine it will change. Just it's not quite there yet, and we'll see. But yeah, another thing that we that kind of has appeared in the meta and kind of disappeared again, I guess, is slow smoke. So slow smoke finally it came in and completely done. Oh, nice steal, lovely little steal.
This is the reason why I like this dang thing.
So slow smoke kind of got a buff and not so much took over the meta as completely obliterated it.
Oh yeah.
So everybody went from running eject buttons to running slow smoke, and then you kind of saw a few counters in terms of like X speed and full heals, and eventually slow smoke got a nerf in the latest patch, or the patch before that.
Oh my god.
And which it needed because it was stupid. Like the effects lasted for so long, and it was too much. But now I imagine that's kind of balanced, so it doesn't really seem to be as much of an issue anymore. It's just kind of a pain.
Yeah, it's not terrible anymore. It's quite viable. I just think it's one of those things where when you get caught with a double slow smoke, you're still like stuck.
Oh god, yeah. Like there's still certain mons and combinations where it's just kind of like if they have a slow smoke, and you know they're really quick, like Absol with a slow smoke, it's devastating because you just can't get away. And obviously it's got its jump moves, and it's kind of similar for like Zero Aura and stuff. They get in your hair, and it's not nice. But yeah, that's kind of the summary on slow smoke, I guess. Where are we at with? Oh, how are we in the lead here? Oh my god.
Maybe not anymore.
Okay.
We got two down here, and I don't want them to get back into this fight.
No, this isn't a great fight here. Yeah, so we've done Duraludon, we've done Azumarill, which are the kind of, I guess, the main focuses. But then we have Tsnydes28, who for so long again was. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down here. So going down.
Tsnydes28, who for so long was just such a glass cannon, and just like it was fun. Like you could mess around with Tsnydes28, and if you had the right team, maybe you could do something with it. But it just became one of those. It was like, you know, you're never going to see this in a competitive sense. Just because there's no way that you can actually do what you need to do with it. People are just going to pick you out and just ruin you. Now not so much. Tsnydes28,
yeah, he's pretty viable.
way more viable now than it previously was.
It's one of those things where he's viable I feel like you have to have the right team comp. You've got to have the right thing. If you have like a defender heavy, non-greedent type thing, maybe like a Snorlax or Wiggly out front doing a lot of CC, I think you're going to be fine. It just comes down to, I don't have enough time.
No, I mean, we were never going to get anything from this game. Yeah, I mean, it still definitely needs that kind of guardian. So, like, a good example is like a mama swine, or even a Slowbro, which is again someone that we'll come on to. But it hits like a train now, man. Like, it's just that Spirit Shackle Leaf Storm combo. It's something else. It really is. Like, I saw Chris 9. Just blitzed 3 mons with 1 Spirit Shackle. I mean, they were like half health, but like even still, that's just crazy. If you come out of jungle with a Decidueye, which you should, with that Spirit Shackle, like, you just rocking those cannons all over the place, and it's so much fun.
So
if you
the first Spirit Shackle is a little difficult because you only get 1, but when you get the upgraded move, you get 3. Then yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's quite the feeling.
You could just pull him back, let him fly. You know, even if there's nobody there, you know, yeah, you decrease your move speed for a little bit, but then if you let it fly, like, you don't know what happens. You could hit anybody and everybody.
And to me, that's prime jungler as well, right? Like, a jungler should come out slightly over-leveled compared to everybody else, and also ready to obliterate. Like, you should be coming out swinging. And to me, that's what it does, and that's what I have fun with.
Well, you know what? We're gonna try it.
What are we going with here?
You got a defender going top lane.
Okay, right, yeah, that works. So anybody watching will get to see the beautiful Decidueye in action.
I also am stacking, so this should be quite interesting.
Oh dear, okay. And a jungle Machamp, I'm pleased with that. I like a jungle Machamp.
I mean, if we flip-flop, that wouldn't be terrible either.
No, it wouldn't, but jungle Machamp's still really strong. But yeah, so somebody that I didn't actually have in the notes, but definitely deserves a shout, is Slowbro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Slowbro was dunked on a lot, I would say, as a defender, because it kind of sucks. Maybe he's not as much as Cram. Not Cram. Maybe he's not as much as... it's because I'm looking at Cramorant. As Crystal. Crystal. Yeah. Crystal's not a defender. Crystal should be a speedster.
Supporter at best.
Yeah, no, I think if you give it X as a high crit hit, and you run that with Rock Smash, like, it's a speedster. It's a lane in speedster. It's a different type of speedster, but it's still a speedster. But yeah, so Slowbro is now, it got buffs to Amnesia, and it got buffs to so what else did it get buffs to? I can't remember, but it definitely got a lot of buffs. And it's now viable. Like, it's kind of dominated a little bit. The world's meta, or the the competitions that are going ahead with that now. You see Slowbro as a choice almost every time now.
Oh no!
Oh, you're gonna have to get out there, buddy.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm just gonna recall. Oh, okay, I'm out. Yeah, Slowbro's become a lot more viable. Surf Amnesia has definitely taken the reign on all that. Bees are up in 3 seconds here.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see, I think. From my point of view, I really like it. Because Slowbro has always been someone with a lot of potential.
I'm dead.
And you've seen the weakness of Decidueye now when your defender goes down.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm also running X speed to try to give me a little bit of that viability to move around, but I don't have that as of right now. Also, this is usually something that you shouldn't be doing as a laner. Stay in your lane, please. But because Machamp was down at the bottom and not doing what he should be, I decided
left the jungle wide open.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Amnesia Surf, it can do a lot of damage. It's good. The telekinesis, if you're playing a competitive team comp, your telekinesis could really fire off too. I mean, that could be a really good, like, hey, I'm gonna isolate a target type thing, and we can go from there. But I feel like Surf Amnesia kind of has the dominating way, so that this way you can kind of like secure Zapdos, Dread, anything like that. It's a lot more viable than what it used to be.
Yeah, it's all about that. It's all about the pinch, right? Like, if you get in, you can hit them with that surf, and it means you can survive in kind of high pressure environments, whilst also being able to secure objectives or keeping people out of the game, which is huge. You know, if you can bounce them up in the air, you can keep a team out of the game. Then you know you're killing it.
Spirit Shackle,
which is big
for the win.
Yeah, Spirit Shackle doing the damage there. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna put some points in here. But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but arguably one of the biggest comeback stories, one of the biggest redemption arcs, since Sasuke, in my opinion, has been Blastoise. Blastoise,
would agree.
for anybody who's been with the game for a long time, Blastoise, when it came out, you know, it was obviously being a Gen 1 and being a big fan favorite. People were like, oh my god, Blastoise is coming out, this is so great. And it was, and Blastoise came out and it was super strong. And it made me cry every time I saw it. And you know, it was a defender, and you even had people running Jungle Blastoise, right? And now then it got a huge buff nerf, and it was just kind of like, oh, even from a defender perspective, like its Surf Hydro Pump build was useful, but it was kind of like, okay, still probably not the best defender. You know, at that time I think Snorlax kind of dominated more than anything else, and Blastoise kind of faded into obscurity a little bit. And then recently the Rapid Spin Water Spout build, which again was kind of like, that was the damage build, right?
Yes.
When it first came out, that was the damage build. It got a little bit of a buff recently in the last patch. And oh my god, it's back with a vengeance. Like, it's huge. It does so much again. And again, it's not like a typical defender. It's very much a it's a damage defender, right?
Yes.
I think the term's not attack damage carry. It's the term's beast, but
Jesus.
Yeah, Lucario is just busy with his finger up his ass up there. So,
well, so a couple of things here. Just on our team comp, right? We're running a hyperspace hole Hoopa, which is not good.
Not ideal.
No, not good at all. We're also trying to deal with a bunch of defenders here, so that's also not that great. We have people trying to. Very nice.
That was nice.
You know, we just got a bunch of things going on here that are really not ideal. Oh, that was a triple kill. I mean, granted, they were all clones, but I mean, I'm not gonna. Beggars can't be choosers, right? So the team comp here is just a little weird, a little wonky, and we're not really kind of sticking together. So that's
always the main one. But again, we'll come on to that because we're doing a bit of an end of season roundup at the end of this.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so the return of Blastoise was huge. And again, it's kind of like Blastoise is now pretty common, I would say.
Yeah, I would say he's pretty much in all of my games.
Yeah, I mean, there's at least one. It's I wouldn't say it's at the point where it's on both teams all of the time. Like it's not dominating like Dragonite and Ralladon did, but I would say it's still really strong. In terms of, it's a very common pick.
Yes.
In terms of what people are going for, which is always an interesting sign of where the meta's shifting.
I also apologize that I'm not down at this dread. I don't think it's something that we need. I think we need our levels.
What's the levels like? Yeah, I think we're pretty balanced on levels, to be honest. I mean, we're not going to get the Rotom. The Rotom's going to be up far too quickly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some levels here. You got your Unite.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him, but that Machamp keeps dying.
So the other thing,
we
squeaked it. All right, cool. But are we going to lose everything down there?
I hope not.
That's the other issue.
So I'm the defender. I should be in the way of this. But anyway, yeah. Always an interesting game to play, right?
Always.
I think that's kind of it in terms of who are the Metamons, right? Like the big changes, the big shifts. I think it's all kind of similar.
Yeah, I'd still say.
You've still got Lucario is still an absolute tank. Hooper, I suppose Hooper has kind of become a bit of a mainstay. Nobody's really. You still see Hooper a lot. Not as much as when it was, because it got a bit of a nerf. It's not as common as it was previously. But it's still Beastie Mon.
It is still absolutely dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, the hype build, the Hyperspace Hole build was what everybody thought we were going to see regularly, but it's kind of not. We're going to have to start taking this. It's the trick, which kind of you get the speed boosts and stuff. That's the main one that people run with these days.
We didn't get it.
Oh my god, Jeez. Pikachu. But yeah, maybe that's it.
Pikachu's here. I'm gonna go down. Pikachu killed me. So if we back cap, we could win.
Yeah, but are they gonna have the sense to deal with it? That's the question.
You have one.
No, because Lucario just died.
And Hoopa went back to base. I did my best to kind of hang around and wait for that Unite, because I didn't want to get caught with it.
Yeah, no. Classic team not fighting together at the crucial point. But anyway. Anything else? I don't think I'm missing anything in terms of meta shifts. I guess Charizard was really strong for a little while, and now you don't see it as much.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. Also,
I mean,
that was a terrible decision. Just a FYI. Subset
1800. Charizard came and kind of dominated a little bit because the Unite move is so strong. Like, just everything about Charizard is really strong. As soon as you get out of Charmander and into Charmeleon, like that's it. You can start taking names.
Yeah.
But even as Charizard, you do so much damage. But
you're throwing that Unite left and right too.
It can be thrown very rapidly, especially if you run like an energy amplifier build. But this is where we get to the crucial weakness and why it is no longer as common as maybe a month ago. The Unite move can stall, which is a huge weakness.
Yep.
So, for those who, I imagine most of you have seen this at some point. The Charizard Unite kind of lunges forward, you grab him on, you throw it on the ground, and then you jump up in the air and you start breathing loads of nasty fire, which is great if it comes off. But if it doesn't, because that initial lunge, right, that can get pinched, that can get stopped.
Correct.
So if I'm trying to remember the conditions. If you are running, or if you've got like the unstoppable condition, I don't think it can grab you.
That I'm not 100% sure of. I know that when I have played Charizard, I have been stunned out of his Unite more times than I can count.
Yes, there's definitely a few moves that are like you can get stunned out of it, and I'm pretty sure one of them is the immune condition, and then there's a few others. And what happens is your Unite move doesn't pop, and it gets reset by 10%, so you go back to 90% full Unite charge, which is great that it doesn't use up your Unite move. But if you are at a crucial moment and you want that, and you need to stop breathing fire because you've got a Zapdos that you need to take and you're trying to clean up, what happens? That's one Unite move down.
Yeah.
And if, for instance, you have teams that cottoned onto this, like Game of Gladiators, and you start seeing Slowbros come out, which again was one of the reasons why Slowbro became so popular.
Got it.
Oh, nice.
I'm getting out. I'm trying to get out. Oi!
Then you're going to start seeing that Slowbro being able to pinch you with telekinesis, and yeah, it didn't bode well for Charizard in terms of longevity. It wasn't the best for it, which is a shame because I really enjoyed seeing Charizard, but Charizard has probably had enough limelight realistically. There we go. Get you Wiggly. So yeah, it was probably a fairly reasonable way for it to go. And also, I need to get in for this. We need you to pop that sing. What I kind of
You got them down
didn't
here.
really think about.
I'm dead. Slow smoke.
Oh, hello. Hi, Horner. What I didn't really think about when we were talking is one of the most obvious candidates as well, Ninetales.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The
How do we not
icy thing of death is now a
Oh my god, yeah.
absolute monster.
So again, Ninetales, super strong when the game originally came out, right? Like Ninetales was beast. And then did it get nerfed or did it just get found out? I can't remember. Did it get nerfed?
Yeah, it got nerfed. But like to the point where it was, what was it? It was the double ice move that really kind of was like, oh, this is too much. I didn't think that would work. Then they nerfed the double ice. They gave a buff to the Aurora Veil. Then they realized that the buff to the Aurora Veil was too much, so they tapered it back, and then it just kind of completely fell off. Now they gave it almost like a little bit of a move rework, if you will. The Aurora Veil now will do a little jump dash, which is awesome. Come take these two, Goose.
Yeah, I'm
right here.
Thank you. Yeah, so if you could continue on with that description, because you're doing very well.
Sorry. So once they kind of gave the buff to the Aurora Veil with the rework, it became so much more viable, because the one thing that it lacked was the mobility. It needed a way to kind of escape, to run around, to do something, and there was none of that, right? Now there is. You have that rework, and it is absolutely wonderful to see. Oh, we all went down. Dragonair is literally, I don't see a bar of health on him.
Oh my god. Classic.
But now that you can kind of do a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump to get to what you need, it is become so nice.
What a steal. Sorry.
What a style. I just see it pop up on my screen. I'm A-okay with this.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get back into this flow. That was just some good concentration there. Yeah, so Ninetales, absolute animal now. Like, it came back in such a big way, because it was wiped from the meta. Like, nobody was playing that. And there was no point, because it was just kind of, there's just a bit of I've got 20. It was just a dud. Like, you could play Ninetales, but you basically threw the game. Like, there was no point.
Sorry to interrupt. This Absol has not returned back to his jungle. Please go take it.
No, we'll just ping it.
I'm gonna stay bottom here.
And yeah, like, it's just, it was so strong. And it stayed that way. Like, I thought they might like nerf it a little bit, but they didn't want to. They've just been like, nope, we want our Ninetales assassin back, and it's back in a big way, and it's really good for the game, I think, because Ninetales is very popular, and yeah, it's been great to see. And I think we're at a state of play now with the best junglers in the game. Oh god, we got team wiped.
I had two on me down bottom. I had a Wiggles Dragonite. There was no way I was getting away.
The best junglers in the game are probably still like Cinderace and Greninja, Talonflame if you're going for score comp.
Honestly, even Talonflame solo is just still really good.
Because that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing a split into score comps and fighting comps, depending on the approach that you want to take in the game. In a competitive sense.
Yeah.
And
man.
yeah, it's I think Cinderace is dominated quite heavily, and Talonflame also dominated very heavily. So I think that's just where we are.
Speaking of the Ice Assassin.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But in a real sense, we are at the end of season 3.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, we have, I think, what, 2 or 3 days left until season 3 is over. Would we say that this was a good season overall? Is that something that you would happily say?
I would say mid.
Okay.
I think mid is where I would go. Because realistically, what am I trying to think here? What am I trying to say? Just want to articulate this in a good way. Obviously, we still come back to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the game, as a whole, is enjoyable.
Well, you're only level 11. Jeez.
I am only level 11.
I wouldn't say
So,
enjoyable.
Hear me out. The principles, concepts of the game are enjoyable.
Okay.
We want to keep playing, right? Like, this is going to be a real fun game. Like, we're going to keep coming back to play it, and I think that's why we do, because we like the characters, we like the mons, we like the concept, and yeah, that's why we keep coming back.
Hey.
However, there are some things, in my opinion, that keep the game from being great, and keep the game overall from being, like, from me saying this is a good season. Like, there's a reason I don't think it was a great season. I think it was like a meh, okay, yeah, because I don't think we realistically saw too much change from season 2 in terms of matchmaking and those kinds of things. It was just like a okay, right.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, I agree. It wasn't great. It wasn't like spectacular. Steal.
Oh, Steel with a Wiggly! Oh my god.
Yeah, I just think it was. I think it was an okay season. Come on. We got 400 away.
Yeah, because again, like, realistically, how much changed from season 2?
Nothing.
I don't think we didn't see huge changes with how the elo was worked out. We didn't see huge changes with the matchmaking. We didn't see huge changes with
Got one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the two main things, right? Like, if we're talking about issues with the game, I don't think we saw huge changes with either of those things. And we maybe saw We saw some changes with the events, which I think were good. We saw some changes with the UI, which I think were good. But again, they're kind of superficial, right?
Yeah, the user interface is one of those things where, I mean, you could tweak that all you want. It'll give it a breath of fresh air, but it's really not going to be, like, important. You know, once you start changing the... All right, so do we want to dive deep into this? Do we want to go to Negative Nancy side? Is that what we're going to here?
We'll go into Negative Nancy for a little bit because we're going to end on some positive stuff, which I think counteracts the Negative Nancy.
All right. So Goose has touched on quite a bit there. Negative Nancy. I am very displeased with the change to the ranking system. It's much easier to get into Masters. You do not need a positive win rate to get there. I'm with Crashy. I will put my foot in the ground and I will firmly stand there with him. I think that this game has a lot of potential to be a lot of fun, but the matchmaking is absolutely garbage. I had been in several games. Okay. I have proof on my Twitter that this game is just all over the map. I have people that I called jungle, they called lane, and they followed me all the way around the map. They had 40 points to put away, they would turn away and wouldn't score. They would steal all of my farm, kept me at little as possible the whole way. These are teammates, by the way, not enemy team, which is what I expect. Teammates. If you're gonna troll, go somewhere else. Like, just do it in custom or quick or something like that. I'm here. I have a very competitive side. For those who know me in real life, I will do everything in my absolute power to win. I don't cheat, but I will do my best. I will train, I will lift, I will do anything to win. I'm stupidly competitive. And this game takes that competitive side with me, right? I lose 4 or 5 matches. I'm really aggravated and mad, especially if we lose in stupid ways. But the matchmaking has been so bad, so bad. It's unbelievable. There's been times where I've been playing with 2200s and I'm only 1800. There's been times that I've been playing with 1100s or 1000. And for those of you who don't know, when you get into Masters, you start at 1200. So the fact that you've lost 200 plus elo after getting into Masters shows I don't know why you're there. Ultimately, this season was okay. I don't think it was fantastic. The Sylveon skin was very, very cool. I enjoy it. But I just think it's one of those things where, is the battle pass going to be enough to kind of keep you coming over and over? We had a fan favorite of Azumarill. I think that was kind of a little bit of out of left field. I wasn't really expecting Azumarill. But the one thing that did, and I'm going to turn this real quick because I love when this stuff happens. The leaks and the data mines are so fun. That's what keeps me personally coming back over and over and over for this game. I cannot wait to see what potential Pokemon they are going to bring. And the fact that El Chico Eevee, again, like you had mentioned, has just absolutely done everything in the power to just make it fun again is great. I love it. I love the fact that we have possible data mined of new Pokemon, and we can transition into that if we would like to. Just all of that that's the exciting thing to me. I love that. I hope that they do a little bit better in the Pokemon selection. I really do. I really hope that they would kind of pick something else. Oh boy. I'm dead down here. But So let's transition from season 3 into the leaks. Okay. I think.
Well, I've got in the notes here. I wanted to chat about the leaks in when we talk about wishlist for season 4.
Okay.
Because I think you touched on a lot of good points, and I'm sure you feel better getting that off your chest.
A little bit. Nothing I haven't ranted before.
I think, you just make a lot of really good points, and I think I feel like the game devs know that they want this game to be an esport, right? Like it's just so geared towards being part of those like pillars for Worlds, right? Because that's obviously what everything's been gearing up for. Everything's going towards Worlds. Everything Worlds, which is great because obviously, you know, the more it's like I say this in very relaxed terms as a content creator, that's great because it just gives you so much more to talk about. It gives you so much more energy about the game, right? Like you got more people involved, you got more money coming into the game, you got more people want to spend time watching the game. So in those terms, it's great. However, we are also casual players of the game. We're not great. We know how to play the game, but like we're like mid-tier players of this game.
Yes.
So what is good for us and what's good for professionals is not going to be the same.
Correct.
And if they are pushing everything towards esports, they're kind of neglecting some of the what would be beneficial for us. And I think that's basically what we've seen here is a game that is being prioritized for esports. So they're kind of like, they want to get more characters out to give more diversity, to bring more stuff to the meta, which great, fantastic. Like that's what keeps games alive in the long run. Because there's nothing worse than a boring game where you see the same shit over and over again. But part of me's thinking, is this a case of they're trying to run before they can walk? Because it's like, I mean, again, I'm not a business analyst, I'm not a business strategist, I've not worked in esports or anything like that, so I'm kind of like, okay, what's going to get you here, or what's going to give you the most here? Like, where are you going to get the most money from? Because that's obviously what they're going for. Are you going to get the most money from your player base, or are you going to get the most money from sponsorships in terms of esports?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's something that kind of gets left out of the conversation when we talk about these things, or when you see this thing kind of being talked about in online spaces. But it gives me hope that eventually, once they've got stuff sorted for Worlds, and they feel confident and they see how much of a success Worlds will be, because it inevitably will, because I think if you think about the other Pokemon games for Worlds, like the video card game and the video game and the Pokemon card game, I don't think they are as cinematic and kind of back and forth as this, right? Like,
no,
they are like, this is exciting. This is like high action. It's swinging back and forth and that kind of thing. So from an entertainment perspective, I think this has got more potential. And I think once they've got all that information, I think they'll kind of be like, right, okay, we need to change our priorities and start to fix things for the player base.
Oh, fuck me.
And I could be wrong. I could be very wrong in that, but I hope I'm not. And I think that will ultimately be what determines the longevity of the game. How they start to prioritize things after Worlds.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue
thing.
that. The esports thing is very, like, I'm not going to say it's tricky, because it's not. We know, just like you said, you want to put one foot in front of the other. That's what we're trying to do here. Fucking Gengar! I think you're right. I think you're right with they're just trying to go too far too fast. To put a game out that has not been, oh, we have an AFK now, awesome. To put a game out and put it into worlds less than a year old is a bit of a stretch. It has a lot
ambitious, right?
Yeah, you're very hopeful. You want everything to go well, but I just don't. I don't foresee it that way as of yet. I mean, this game has bugs left and right. Seems like every time they do an update, there's a bug. You know, things like that. They need to iron all the stuff out. The UI interface, I don't really care about too much because that can get a quick overhaul and, you know, nothing will ever be the same. Oh, Lord. I just think I think other things need to come first. I think the fact that we need to get the Pokemon that need to be released come out better, whether they're stronger or more balanced or whatever the case may be. I think that needs to kind of get ironed out first. Maybe new maps so that the game doesn't feel so stale over and over. That would help as well. But oh boy.
Yeah, it's an interesting conundrum. And I am excited and slightly optimistic to see how they fix it. I'm not kind of throwing this game. I don't think anybody's really thrown this game in the trash just yet. It's not like maybe some people, but like when you see a lot of the professionals and things like that, they're not. They're quite buzzed about the game. Again, probably because the majority of the fixes for the game are for them. But it's not like oh my god, this game's gonna die. They are they're kind of hopeful for how things will turn out.
Yeah,
which is great, in my opinion. But yeah,
I don't know. Like you said it right. Okay, so this is a e-sport, but at the same time, this has to be. Why do we not want to quit? Like, so this part is aggravating to me. All right, like some of the quality of life changes that need to happen are it's sitting right in our face. We just lost Zapdos. We got absolutely annihilated all the way through this match. We have 400 points, but yet we have two people that think this game is still winnable. Like, now I got to sit here for the next 50 seconds and try not to piss and moan about it the whole way.
Yeah. But what I did want to move on to was wishlist for season 4, because obviously season 4 comes out in what, 3 days? 2 days? 3 days?
3 or 4 days, yeah.
And with a new season, obviously comes the potential for new hype, which is obviously, you know, that's kind of what keeps you going with the game. So I'm sat here thinking, I've got a few things. Obviously, we want to see changes to matchmaking. I think we've stated that enough here. Matchmaking has its issues. We probably need to change how teams are paired together, because I think what we see at the minute is we get 2 higher level, we get 1 mid level, and we get 2 lower level, which is stupid because elo means nothing in this game for the most part.
No. It means It means nothing to It means nothing to the creators, but it means everything to everybody else.
Yeah, so you get people who are boosted to like high elo levels, and it's just kind of like they don't have the skill to show it.
Okay, so let's take that. I want to really harp on this one for a moment. Let's take this example. I'm sorry that whoever you guys are in this game, this is a great example. Okay, the Zeraora here probably thinks I did amazing this game. They scored 116 points. They had 3 KOs, 2 assists, okay? But they did 32,000 damage.
And they're the jungler.
And they were the jungler. Goose and I were laning, and we did double that.
Yeah.
And we're trying to secure a lane, and the main priority of a jungler is to help solidify that lane. You come in, you take a gank, you score some points, and you get out. You know, you try to keep bouncing from lane to lane, going to your jungle. But if you have a main priority of the jungler that can't even do that, a lot of the game just goes awry. You know, Goose and I are not terrible. We're not great. We have our moments where we can be both ways, but when you have a half decent team and a jungler that's competent, it makes it for a much better experience. And there has been plenty of games that I've had that they've been off in the side, not doing whatever they should. But this MVP system, this award, all this, I think it really needs to go away. There's just shouldn't be that.
Yeah. Or it should be based on something else, or they need to reframe how the game works. So, yeah, there's definitely changes that need to be made. But I think what I'm really excited about is...
we got a third.
Yeah, we've got Nitro joining us.
Oh, all right.
I think something I'd really like to see is like shiny skins next season.
Please.
Which, again, you know, we've discussed what needs to change in-game mechanics-wise. We know that those are big changes, but I think from an aesthetics point of view, I think I'd be really happy to see shinies is like a skill-based skin, because obviously like a lot of the skins are like you've got to pay for them, which great, that's fine. Or the holowares, I should say. They call them holowares.
Yeah.
You got to pay for them, which, you know, some of them, one coming out every now and then, totally fine, whatever. That's fine. But I think if you could have the holoware and have a shiny skin, and you earned that shiny skin because you spent time learning that character and playing with that character a lot, I think that would be really cool. And I think that would be like a nice show of faith from... I just lost the game on my Switch there. I think that would be a nice show of faith from Timmy, Tencent, whatever.
So
that
I like that idea. I really do. It gives you a way to show off.
Since there's a but.
There is going to be a but. But this is also I think a unique counter to that. So Pokemon right now, in the last probably 5 years, has kind of shifted a little bit. It went from being a game that you would play over and over and over, have a lot of fun, maybe encounter a shiny from time to time, to more of a specific like shiny hunting game. You play the game once, you try to complete everything, and then you go hunt shinies. Like that's what you do in the post game. What if instead of you actually getting the skin, right, where you have to do it and you have to work on the Pokemon over and over and over, what if there's a 1 in, I think it's like 3,000 some odd chance for oh, so nobody's taking jungle. Okay. Like what if there's a 1 in 1,300 some odd chance that when you spawn in, you get shiny?
Oh, and then when you get the game, or when you get the shiny,
you could unlock a skin.
Oh, that would be really cool, actually. That would be really cool. That would be really interesting. Although I have a horrible feeling what you'd end up having is... but then I guess you'd have to be shit hot on the ban system, because I could imagine a lot of people would just load up a game,
not
rage
get it.
quit.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think also, you know, one of the wish lists for the season 4, which we can transition to here, one of the wish lists is surrender button being removed. Okay, I want the button to be gone until after Zapdos has been defeated.
Yes, absolutely. Hard agree.
Because there's too much of this, like, you know, and some of the viewers that may have been here watching me, if I have a terrible game coming out of whatever, like in the lane when I was playing Lucario bottom with that Chansey who wouldn't give me any experience, I wanted to quit. I wanted to just throw the towel in at 5 minutes. I did not want to play the rest of that game. But after seeing, you know, some of these battles and how they flipped around, then I kind of was like, all right, I'm back in it. But just having that there and people knowing that it's there, I don't like that. So I just kind of like, I think we should just get rid of it entirely. Surrendering.
Yeah.
It's only 10 minutes. If you can't commit to a full game, don't load up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. I think also there is the problem of teammates trolling. You have people who just spam the surrender button, and it's kind of like, right, okay, what are you getting out of this on a personal level?
Right.
Because they're just quite clearly just trolls. Nitro, I'm gonna go up here, and it's just kind of like, right, okay, just go away. Like, what are you getting out of this? Nothing. You're being an ass for the sake of being an ass.
Right.
And yeah, I could definitely see the argument for that going until the 2 minute mark.
Even after the 2 minute mark. I mean, this game means nothing until
The rest of the game means nothing until Zap.
Yeah,
Which again,
really, it's 100% true, and that's what sucks.
Interesting talking point. Oh god, everyone's up here. Interesting talking point. Does Zap need to be nerfed?
I think the whole concept around it, the fact that if you lose everything and you can't win the game unless you get that, I think that needs to change. I like the idea. So I'm gonna piggyback off of Crashy, Spraggles, the town hall meeting. If nobody has listened to that, please do yourself a favor. They bring up a ton of good points, good and bad, to kind of like really give the idea of what they could do here. I think what happens is if Zapdos goes down, right, it doesn't matter who knocks it out, but you have to contest that middle area, and then whoever contests that area, and it does like a timer, almost like a King of the Hill type thing. That's when you win Zapdos. If say you have four guys in there for the orange team and one in there for the blue team, it's only going to be shorter. It's going to take a lot faster for the guys in the orange team to kind of just come in and just do what they need to do. Things like that. I think that would be a much better option and a solution for that. But I just don't think I don't think it needs to be, okay, I got the last hit, that's it, game's over.
Yep. I can see that argument. Yeah, I'm not sure where we need to be in terms of Zap. I really don't know how I feel about it. I think it's suitable, but is it suitable enough? Are there better options? Probably. It's a weird one for me. I don't know where I am with Zap. It's just a mechanic. I think it's a flawed mechanic, but I think if you look at most games will have flawed mechanics. So it's kind of like, yeah, where'd you go? But I guess, these are things that are being talked about at the board level or whatever, and we'll see what they come up with.
I don't know. It's hard because like we want so many different things, but there's so many different people that want so many different things.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the problems with being a game dev, right? Like, it is so difficult to keep everybody happy because everybody's got different priorities, and yeah, it's a difficult tightrope to walk, I think. And we'll see how they do, because that's all we can do. we just have to see what they offer us, and we'll take it from there, I guess. But season 4 is almost upon us. It brings about a new era of hope, I guess.
So we hope.
Yeah, that's what we're.
Thank you.
It's what we want to see. Okay, Nitro needs
There's not much we
a
can do.
little bit of help, but I think we probably wrap that up there. We've kind of gone on enough.
Yeah, but with being gone for over 4 weeks, I think we have a lot to
That is
talk
true.
about.
That is true. There is always lots to talk about. And yeah, we'll see where the next lot takes us. Whoa. Where can the lovely folks find yourself at, Snide?
Well, Goose, you can find me anywhere and everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I would say Facebook. I'm there too, but that's more of the personal thing. Instagram, everywhere you can find me. Tsnydes28. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. What about you, Goose? Where can they find you?
You can find me at anywhere at x_goose. Sometimes it's there's a few capitals thrown in there, but if you find me on one, you'll find me on the rest. Yeah, you can find me at those good places. That was episode 9 of the OnlyCrams Podcast. We'll be back next week with more bitching and moaning and more Pokemon Unite goodness. Thank you for listening, and see you folks next time. Oh my god, okay. We need to